Ruminating about dinner table conversations in my Tanis DeHaan household. Today is Monday, 8 December 2025, and here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, ruminate about dinner table conversations in my household if my name were Tanis DeHaan. And this is thinking of my Tanis DeHaan household that incorporates my Dane, and from whom I get the surname DeHaan. So this is a ruminating about surnames meets broaching a soulmate residency. And I've talked about kind of conversations before, or like, or I'll have, like videos where it's like kind of random talking points, or even the playlists themselves are ruminating and broaching, so it's kind of talking. At least in one form. And so it was like, well, what might be distinctive or unique to my Tanis DeHaan household? Right? Keeping in mind, right, Tanis is not an uncommon name, so there's a good chance there's other Tanises with at least some of these surnames I'm trying on. So being cognizant of my Tanis DeHaan household as opposed to like the Tanis DeHaan household. So it's like, well, making it very us specific, prison stories from his time in prison. So he gets out of prison. He's been in prison longer than I've been a stay-at-home daughter. Okay. So we are both at over 6.00 years. So there's one. There's also perhaps, so for his domestic violence against me sentence, this is one where like he's comfortable in talking about it and I might benefit from talking about it, as in like allows me to work through it, would be perhaps talking about my being sexually assaulted, how I handled it, and the legal proceedings after. Sorry family, sexual assault stories and prison stories are dinner table staples in my Tanis DeHaan household, including Thanksgiving. Does he talk about what Thanksgiving was like in prison? Did he have Thanksgiving dinner with rapists? That kind of like, and he talks about those stories. Just normal. So there's like the holiday meal, but then there's also just the normal days of like that kind of thing. So I was like, that's something that I'm not off put by that whatsoever. Some people might be like, that's scary, and be like, the emphasis there is on my Tanis DeHaan household. So something that's scary for somebody else, that's nice. That's their house. The Tanis DeHaan household, that's my Tanis DeHaan household. Their rules are not my rules. Right? They don't get to impose themselves on us, or they're not invited. So there's a little bit of a reality check of, nah, when somebody's been through the prison system, we might have a different standard for speaking. And it might not be as, like, you could say privileged speak might come across as like silly speak to us. So it might be like, oh, I'm going to put a cap on silly speak at the dinner table. So there we go. Then there's the other one was like, okay, so let's move outside of that topic. It's like, do we talk about Lando Norris? And my Dane goes, the only thing I want to talk about Lando Norris about is I love the man because he also supports you not wearing high heels in the house. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, it was they're both cuties. They're both adorable. So Dane's a Scottish hamster, and Lando is an English hamster. I'm about 5 feet 7.5 inches. My Dane is a few inches taller than me, and my Lando is like half an inch shorter than me. We're about the same height. We're both about 5 feet 7 inches tall. So Dane does like to talk about my soulmates, and he specifically the ones he likes, and Lando is one he likes. So there we go. Lando, you might be my Lando. He might be a dinner table conversation topic. So there we go. That's ruminating about dinner table conversations of my Tanis DeHaan household.